Yo, it's Guido coming at you with a Tactics Talk. Welcome back, guys. Thanks for tuning in. And we're going to talk about carrying dead weight today. I wanted to show you, what are we, 40 seconds into this match. And look at this deployment. This is sweet. Proc seems to be the map that it is one of the easiest, if not the easiest map to see a poor deployment. And with that, you kind of get the idea of what your team is potentially capable of. We don't have any light tanks. Neither side does. So we kind of need the medium tanks to step up and do some light tank stuff. But you can see that we don't have either of those light or medium tanks doing that. The Conway, the Standard, the Charfooter, or the M60, even the AMX-30B. Now, to be fair to the M60, he has a good game. He's going to go over to the west side, and he is going to do kind of light tank-ish. I'm not saying that the medium needs to rush forward and die in a YOLO, but I can tell by this deployment that we got issues. I'm the only guy in the middle, and I happen to be in a casemate. When initially started, I saw everybody scattering away. I always watch on this map if anybody's going to go 5-6 line. Somebody really has to be here. If the enemy team figures out nobody's on the middle, they're going to scooch up, and we're going to be in a bunch of trouble. All right? We can kind of see them from the hill, but it depends on if we're able to get down into the middle or not. So I've got to be that guy. And that's one of the things I wanted to talk about, when you're carrying dead weight like this. Sometimes the way the match is set up, the matchmaker, the tanks that are in the game, where your friends go, your supposed friends on the same team go, sometimes you have to make those hard decisions. So I'm taking a casemate that's not in a great position to use this part of the map. What I do know is if we get enough guys up on the hill, I might get shots across. And because this thing is fairly low slung, it is kind of tall, but not too bad. I should be able to sit in this flat area right here in front of us and shoot up onto the hill. And I have to go ahead and type in something about how this is an auto loss. Typey. This is how you know none of you know how to play this map. All right, so sure. And yeah, they're also talking about how this is a rare tank. I don't know why. All right. Not quite ready for the Leopard, and realizing I have to actually come up a bit higher on this hill. You'll notice that this building right here, the top of it, is in the way. So I do like to, if I can, knock that thing down. That's going to give me some more options on shooting these guys. I have a hard time getting a hold of this Leopard. In fact, I miss a bunch of shots on these guys. Yeah, bounced, but unfortunately off the turret. All right. Watch QB. You gotta. Oh, wow! I didn't realize I was getting. I'm getting roasted over there. I think so. I think I was getting roasted. All right, we're gonna knock that top of that building. That's funny. I didn't notice that actually during the game. And I am gonna type in here that this is a loss. I'm looking at this. Just look at the deployment, fellas. This is tough, and I'm glad that they did not have a medium tank that was semi-aggressive with some decent vision. The M60 is up on the hill over there in a decent spot for spotting if they come too much further than about half the map right here. But we've really given up a bunch of space right here, and if somehow somebody gets close enough and starts lighting this chunk of dudes up, this firing line over here is going to rock them. I don't know. We have a Standard B that isn't even moving right now, so he's not a factor in terms of helping us out as a medium. He will get moving later. And the 30B is still kind of wandering over that way. And it does seem like with each team, somewhere around a third of the players on the team actually do something, and they end up dragging the carcasses of everybody else. If you were up here with CVS, you would be a good scout. I think that DBV actually does decent damage. There's a couple guys that do a little bit more than I do. I get about 4,500 out of this match. And two other guys, I believe the M60 and maybe the DBV, potentially, do pretty well. Guys up on the hill. Now notice the Char has actually got up and over. He's in a great spot. He's in that bush right there, and that's a great spot where he is for a light tank, but he's actually made it as a medium. He's going to continually light people. Unfortunate. It's a 430U, has pretty good armor, and I hit the top plate as he was running. So he's actually lighting the ST2 and the 705 every time they pop up there. So if you're ever on that 5-6 line on the north side, and every time you pop up like that, you're getting spotted. Okay? Generally, you cannot be spotted here from their position. Look at my circle, right? My spotting line, all right? It's even a little bit further away if you consider where the ST1, if he was centralized with his spotting line, they cannot see you back where our TS is and the Conway. They cannot see that spot right there. But if they're forward like the Char is, they will catch you popping up right here every time. So if you're popping up and getting spotted and you don't know why, there's probably somebody in that bush right there. There we go. Finally get a little shot in there. I think that's a high roll at 580. By 3 maybe? What do we got? 580, 560? 560, so nice little 23 hit point high roll. I'll take it. Standard B came alive. All right, now the standard B. Now this is looking okay. We have a standard B forward. That's kind of what I'm talking about from the mediums. You need somebody in that position there. If they're stealthy enough, they can go down the 2 line through the bushes, but I don't think really we have a tank like that. Maybe the Char could have done it, but he's up on the hill. So not bad, as long as he kind of works that central ridge. The big bummer there, and one of the reasons a bunch of people aren't probably going to the ridge, is there's 2 artillery. 253 55s, if you poke on that ridge a bunch, can make a miserable life for you. M60 gets forward a bit, and he actually lights the 268-5, but I think he's seen based on what he's doing. There's a bit of a low spot. Yeah, he just got artied, and then they take out the 268-5, so that's good. We'll take it. M60's doing some spotting, but he's paying the price for it. In fact, he's nearly dead. We'll take an early shot on him because he's about to get away, so we sneak one, and then the Leopard's right there. And unfortunately, my timing on catching the Leopard out, I'm not quite patient enough. There's multiple opportunities to shoot him, but I just can't quite be ready for when he gets spotted. And his timing is actually pretty regular if you time it. Like, oh, there he is again. Oh, into the dirt. Unfortunate. So I was at least decently ready that time. 30B's popping and spotting him. Now, let's think about this, guys. Why, if you're the 30B, are you poking? The Char Fooder is in that bush right there, and every time one of those guys pops, he sees them. There's no way for them to come up and over without them being seen. If you're the 30B, there was no reason to push up. Because the problem with pushing up and coming up and over is you're now getting shot by these guys down here. So that it's one of the worst positions to go in the game. Do not go to that spot. If you knew the hill greatly outnumbered the defenders, but there's 3 defenders down there. So you might push up in order to kind of come up and over the hill with buddies. But if you're just going up there thinking you're going to crest and spot, you're going to get punished. There's 2 artillery and there's a bunch of guys on the 5 line. You're just going to get shot multiple times. Another unfortunate one goes into the dirt. But about half his tank was covered by the terrain anyway. I thought he might come straight up, but he's doing the old fake, head fake, right? I thought, well, maybe he actually did keep going, but he didn't. I hit the ground, so that was not him. All right, our guys are creeping up. This is something else to watch out for, and unfortunately the M60 died, right? So for his troubles, for a little bit of scouting, we got one guy dead, and then he's dead. And I guess they got the Char Fooder over there as well. Standard B's moving up. And the problem is you get this situation down there on the 1-2 line is the guys are sitting there for a while, they get impatient, there's nobody showing up, and they start creeping forward. Let the enemy team creep forward. Don't creep forward and you're relatively big. And I get a nice one there, but unfortunately we don't kill him. But that was a good high roll, fellas. 655, that thumped him hard. We will take that one. At least I'm semi-smart enough to be shooting AP in there. The Sturv gets lit. So there's the good news. Their Sturv got tired of it as well, and he moved up. Sturv has pretty good camo. Pretty good camo. You'll notice that ours is being a spotter now. But it's a fairly even game. It's 3-3. Oh, and see, that blind shot cost me. I had another good shot potentially at the Leopard, but my hasty blind shots... He just wasn't there, and when we go and look at the cards, there were none of those blind shots hit. Already just took out the 30B, that's what I was talking about. This should hit this guy, there we go. So we got a 604 on him, a little high roll on him, that's nice. Potentially dissuade him from moving too much. And I'm kind of watching as this match develops that I'm going to have to do something, because if you notice the hill just sort of lost. All we have left is the heavy over there. If they roll the heavy up and then come down to the corner at about K7, we're in trouble. Right now, they've got that massive crossfire. So I see that, I'm going to bail out. Before the ST2 and the 705 start getting bold and pushing up and over this hill, realize I haven't been spotted. All they've seen is the standard B. They may start to assume that there's nobody here. All right, and there isn't now because I'm making a runner. In fact, I think I get lit here. But I don't want them coming up and over and shooting me and crushing me before I get away. And I think I get spotted right about there. Yep, there we go. And I know I have to go high on that terrain. Please miss. Goodness, that was close. I actually get a little assist out of that because somebody shoots him. And now we're just going to chicane here and hope that we can get away before one of those guys pops up and over. Already gets that dude. That's very nice. And now I'm sort of leaving the standard. But I got a problem over here on the hill that I want to go try to help out with. So I know I can fade far enough back. This is where we're playing the vision games here. If you see my circle there on the map, okay, the spotting circle, the maximum range at which I can be spotted, which is the kind of yellow, not this yellow one, but the tan one, I guess, right here. If I can pull that south a bit, so I'm going to continue south a little bit more, I'm watching that line. Now that ST2 is outside of that line. Not too much. If he pushes forward too much, I can be spotted. But right here, I should be in pretty good shape. And it's the TS6 over here that I'm trying to support. I've also got a bit of a problem because I have to get close enough with the draw distance line to make sure that that leopard and whatever else might be on the hill is drawable. And I find this dude right here. Like, oh, come on, baby. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, crit, no damage. That is unfortunate. And the standard B's telling me to fall back. I don't know why. Really, he should be over here with me trying to help get rid of this guy. So we're playing vision games now. Now we got guys on the hill. He's too low. I can't quite get to him. Might even be behind that dead Hulk a little bit. I thought maybe I'd get a pixel off him. Then I see the 54. He's down there. So this is getting a bit dicey right here. Keep checking the other flanks. 1-2 is doing okay. No issues at the moment, although we are losing overall. And I'm really hoping this TS6, I think he did the right move there. He needed to push in, try to finish off the Leopard. Leopard's tearing him up. He's obviously getting bombed right and left by the artillery, but that was his best move to try to get rid of him. I don't think he wanted to come off the hill and try to take on the 430, because then the Leopard would come up and over behind him. And then, of course, you got the T-54 working his way up as well. And now what I'm waiting for is maybe they will show up coming up and over the hill. Watch what the standard B does. No, it's not yet. I thought that was where he turned in front of me. All right, so he makes a push. Good. Unfortunately, it's not until we lose an artillery. And we're about to lose the other artillery. All right, 430U. Like, oh, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. And he just sneaks behind the rock. Quite unfortunate. And just like that, the 705 shoots the standard B from the 5.6 line because there's nobody there keeping it honest. And he's lit. And then the artillery takes out our other artillery. So now we're down artillery, and that can be problematic on proc, especially with the late game stuff, where we may not have enough hit points to kind of push in. Finally get a little RNG working my way. The TS6 finishes that guy off, and now I'm going to head over here. We're starting to get a time problem. We have 5 minutes and 10 seconds. Thought maybe he might be pushing up and over. And we'll head over here. Now we're going to support the 1-2 line a bit. Kind of expected the TS6 to come our way. I was excited though, kind of happy that he was going back up the hill. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a lot of support. Then the Maus, I thought makes a good move here. I wish he'd have been in a more useful position to start with. He's pretty much sitting in the back most of the game until he pushed up a little bit. But now he's headed over to deal with the 5.6 line, and that's not a bad tank for it. I get it. He doesn't want to get bombed by a 53-55 all game, and eventually they will get even something as hard as a Maus. They'll eventually whittle him away. Oh, there we go. I think I get a super lucky shot here, actually. Yep. 537. Low roll, but lucky hit. I'll take it. Wasn't even fully zoomed. There he is again. Like, nah, maybe I can get another shot. Don't know. Probably not. These are prayers here. Like, maybe it'll drop on top the weak turret. I don't know. Maus gets thumped. And now I'm just making decisions here. I'm trying to think, like, how do we break this open? Do I go support the TS6? Do I need to go up the hill? Should I go across and go up the middle on the east side of the tracks? I need the Maus to stay alive. That would be nice. That didn't do anything. And now I'm kind of looking at the clock, zooming out, zooming up, looking around. What am I going to do? And I make the decision. I'm going to head over here and I'm going to support from the middle. So I'm going to go over to the east side of the tracks and try to come up to the middle and see what I can do. I'm really hoping the mouse can stay alive while I do this. As long as he's there keeping them busy, then we might get some shots in them while they're messing around in the town right there. If they kill the mouse, it's going to free them up a little bit, and then this maneuver won't be quite as clever. TS6 is up top, though, keeping him lit, and that is very helpful. As long as he stays alive. You may also get sneaky shots. Now, the mouse takes a big hit, and that is unfortunate. It looks like the T95 hit him. Then the TS6, I believe, hits the T95. And I see that the 705 is now out in the open. Very nice. Doesn't have really great spotting, and we'll nuke him. And that was a good kill, so we'll back out of that. Gets me lit. I'm glad the ST2 was not around. I'm going to use this guy's cover. There are 2 artillery as well. And nicely done. The mouse actually kills off the T95, which I believe having help from the TS6. And he sort of YOLO'd in. Other guys were shooting from the other side. That was very helpful for the team. So now we're going to head this way. Thought about going up the hill, but noticed we only have 2 minutes and 19 seconds. I don't have time for the hill. Sort of lost track between about the 5-minute mark and right there, because you notice I was headed up the hill. I thought, all right, I'll reset up there, see what I can do. TS6 coming off the hill. I look up, 2 minutes. Nope, no time. If we have any chance of winning this, we have to just press. It's going to have to be a full court press. But now we've got a lot of map control, and this is kind of how the collapse happens on Prokhorovka right here. It was 50-50 map up to about that point. Once that little push was defeated and we owned this side, the east side of the map, they were in big trouble because now we can wrap around. The question is, do we have the time? 141 doesn't seem like enough time, but actually, fellas, it is. I figured I might get spotted there. I did. Like, all right, Artie, don't hit me. Don't hit me, don't hit me. He takes a hit, and now you can notice that we do have a push going on with some support. It's unfortunate the contender is useless, mostly. Sniper contender, whatever. Nothing I can do about that. It's dragging dead weight, fellas. Sometimes there's just dead weight you got to deal with. And here's the best news of the game. A 705 on their side was AFK. So we were actually in trouble if his gun and hit points were in the game, but they weren't. And we didn't know that until we got in here and spotted their sadness. Oh, that was a terrible shot, actually. Terrible shot. Rushed a little bit and shooting behind him. Like, all right, let's get this Foch. Come on, Hori, you can live, buddy. I think the Foch is probably on a reload. We nuke him. Nice. And I'm just going to stay here. If I get shot, I'll back out. Didn't get shot. And we're at 47 seconds, so we're just going to go in. Boom, and go. Go, go, go. Somebody else will kill him. I will take one more shot, I think, here on the run. Maybe I do stop. I don't know. Oh, that's unfortunate. I did hit him, but I did not get any damage for it. Artie hits me. I have, what, 6 shells left. Dude takes a hit. We have 24 seconds, guys. All right, there's an Artie. Nice. Artie takes a hit. We have 19 seconds. There's the Grill A. Oh, bummer. He got me. 62 hit points. And down he goes. The contender. The contender stayed alive. Full hit point heavy in the back. That was great. And 9 seconds, we pull this thing out. So we did not, in fact, lose, as I predicted. I don't always predict the right thing. Certainly don't always say the right thing. But there you go. Sometimes, oftentimes, and I think this map is one of the better examples of that, but the other maps have their times as well. When you open up the match and you start looking at where people are deploying, sometimes you just have to go somewhere you may not necessarily want to go. That doesn't always work out, and you can't always do that. But in general, I try to look for what is going to help the team with my knowledge of the map and the way a match is usually won. And in this case, I took a tank that wasn't super well suited for it. Ended up with 4,500 damage and 2,318 assists. Couple kills chucked in, and an 8 seconds remaining win. With the good help of the TS6, who had a lot of damage, and I believe the DBV, as I recall. TS6 and DBV, let me double check here. We'll see the cards in a second. TS6 at 5,000 damage, the DBV at 6,000 damage, Even the contender, as much as I was giving him grief, he did drop 2,600 eventually in this game. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us, only 5 of us were above 1,000, pretty much carrying the rest of the team, the dead weight. Sometimes you're the dead weight in the game. Sometimes I'm the dead weight in the game. Somebody else has got to step up and carry. But I always try to be the person who is paying attention to the match close enough and understanding the match well enough that I can make a difference in the positions that I go to. That's what I wanted to talk about today. You guys have a fantastic one. That's all I've got. See ya.